Good morning. Time for another morning report. All right, so we have in the news Judge Gorsuch's confirmation hearings plodding along. Democrats are holding things up. They definitely want the filibuster to go into effect, and so they are slowing things down. They'd like to see the nomination blocked and withdrawn. That's not going to happen. It's only a matter of time that if the Democrats don't decide to just go ahead and support the nomination, the Republicans need 5 more Democrats basically to say that they'll support Gorsuch. Then they can go through under normal Senate procedure. Otherwise, Mitch McConnell will change the Senate rules under the nuclear option that the Democrats invoke for lower court nominees, and it'll take just a simple majority to confirm Gorsuch. And since the Senate is controlled by the Republicans by 52-48 margin, it's a done deal. So, not sure what the Democrats are fighting for. The Washington Post is not sure what they're fighting for. Thinks that maybe they've picked the wrong fight this time. Washington Post has said in an editorial that Judge Gorsuch is a well-qualified nominee and reminds Democrats that not only has the American Bar Association given the stamp of approval, but so have several Obama administration officials. So it's not like this is he's so conservative that the conservatives and the liberals are that divided on him. He has been a very reasonable judge, and will probably be so on the Supreme Court. Will be as good a replacement for Judge Scalia as the conservatives probably can hope for at this point in time. And that's one of the things that bothers the Democrats. They were really hoping that Merrick Garland could get on the court, and that would have shifted the balance decidedly in their favor. Now, it goes back, once Gorsuch gets on the court, it goes back to there'll probably be a lot of 5-4 conservative decisions instead of 5-4 liberal decisions. And if Trump gets a chance to get another nominee in, that will have a very long-lasting effect and could be part of Trump's biggest legacy if he gets that opportunity. Vice President Mike Pence has been trying to work on reviving the health care bill, but initial reports are saying that that's not going well. Is appealing to the Freedom Caucus and looking at the whole pre-existing conditions segment part of the bill, and trying to appease the conservative members, but that has upset the centrist members. So I think we're back to kind of a dead-in-the-water DOA situation, and more thought will have to be given to this. Once again, I said, you can't rush these things through. That's one of the reasons that they failed so miserably on this the first time around. Trying to bring it back without really making this true repeal and replace. Just making adjustments and keeping portions of Obamacare, that's not repeal and it's not really repeal and replace. What the voters wanted was they were voting to say, you're going to scrap this thing, start all over again, and then do something else, if at all. Why not just replace it with the free market system that we had before? Was it really that bad? Or are we now worse off with higher costs than we would have been because of all these rules and regulations? And what is the government doing in our health care anyway? So lots of things to discuss on that aspect as well. There was a chemical attack in Syria, killed 72 people, including 11 children. President Trump has criticized President Bashar al-Assad about this, and use this opportunity to also criticize President Obama for his drawing a red line in the sand that on these types of things that apparently has had zero effect. But I think we knew that was always going to be the case, but the administration does need to come up with a substantial Syrian policy that will actually do something, and not just let the status quo ride forth. ESPN has come out with some new guidelines on on-air talent and their politics, telling them that they should not talk about candidates and do any of these other things. ESPN has been badly stung by their reporters and hosts getting involved in politics, making comments decidedly in a liberal nature, and they've lost viewers by the droves as they have gotten more political, and sports has gotten more political. If you think about Colin Kaepernick and other things like that, and ESPN really wants to get back to, let's talk and report about sports, because that's what we do best. and they need to do something because their ratings are not anywhere near where they used to be, and they're not the cash cow that they have been in the past to the Walt Disney Company. So they're trying really to figure this all out. Of course, while they were doing this, they decided to replace Sage Steele, the black host of the NBA Countdown, and put in her place Michelle Beadle. And if you can't but help think that Sage's comments that were of a more conservative nature, her tweets on politics, some things that were happening that she was observing, have not played a factor in all of this, that conservative voices are not welcome, but liberal voices are. Even though they say they don't want anybody talking about politics, the timing of this dismissal is rather curious in that sense. She's going to still be with the network, but just in a lower profile role, which is too bad because she's great. She's one of the best on people that we've seen their hosts on air talent that they've got. But she dared use her right to free speech, and that seems to have cost her this particular gig. A lot of controversy over Kendall Jenner's Pepsi ad. Resembles kind of a Black Lives Matter protest, police facing off against protesters, angry protesters. Jenner breaks the ice by offering a police officer a Pepsi and all as well. Those that are sympathetic to the Black Lives Matter movement are all upset about this. They think it trivializes what they're doing. Of course, if Pepsi had fashioned the ad differently, and given Black Lives Matter a more favorable play, or at least a different outcome on this, or something like that, she would have been hailed as a hero, and there wouldn't have been any complaints. But once you dare, even remotely, even if you didn't intend to disparage the other side, doing so, you will get a very quick backlash. The critics have called this tone deaf. It is a commercial about soda. Perhaps Pepsi should not have gone into this and not done the ad quite that way. Maybe that's the lesson to be learned by them, and that they are selling a product, and they probably should take it out of the political realm, all told. But they angered the wrong side, and they'll be paying at least a short-term price for that, with lots of nasty comments and vitriol from the other side. All right, it's National Walking Day. Go out there, use your Fitbits and whatever trackers you can. Go out there and, at least here it's going to be another really nice day, I think, here in the DMV. Go out there and take in the fresh air, get out and exercise one way or the other, walk, run, jog, go to the gym, get on the elliptical, get on a treadmill, do something, get moving, eat well, eat right, and you'll all be the better for it. So anyway, join us today if we'll be live on Twitter Periscope as well as Facebook Live on the AIM pages for the Bias Buzz podcast. We'll be talking about these things and more, and then you can always see the full version, slightly edited, dressed up a little bit here on YouTube tomorrow in its entirety. So anyway, have a great day, stay safe, and hopefully we'll be catching you a little bit later today.